Good morning.
If you got a question for Pat, go ahead and use the raise hand tool. If you need access to record, just joined us. Shoot me a message and I can get that to you as well. Matt McGavich, go ahead, sir.
Hey Pat, just right off the bat, do you have an update on both Chucky and James?
Yeah, so Chucky is, continues to be day to day as we see how he continues to progress. We're hopeful about Wednesday, but nothing's for sure yet or set in stone. In terms of James, we're very very confident that he's going to play because he was extremely frustrated that he couldn't go right back in the game the other day. But it was much more than just a tooth popping out. He had both front teeth knocked out, and then it got pushed so far up into his gum that they had to go in and like extract pieces. It was a lot more extensive than just getting your tooth knocked out, which is pretty extensive anyway. Um, so he spent quite a bit of time on Saturday in a dentist chair in his basketball uniform, which is unique. I made the point a couple weeks ago when you guys asked me about James and his personality, and he's such a wonderful kid. But I said, man, he'd rather have 6 root canals than come into a press conference and talk to you guys. And I think he took that literally. But he's such a tough kid. Like he's walking off the floor, blood's coming out of his mouth, and he looks at me, and goes, I'm ready. I'm like, James, just relax. Let's get this taken care of. And then he texts our strength coach while he's in the dentist chair to see if he can lift the next morning. Then he texts me about 42 times to make sure I knew that he'd be ready to play. So James is kind of a example, a microcosm of just the toughness of our entire team, and that's why they're so much fun to coach.
Eric Crawford, go ahead, sir.
I think you're on mute.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Try to
So
get
I got
there.
you.
You go,
Sorry.
Eric.
Been a while since I zoomed here. There's probably not much left to say about Terrence Edwards that you haven't already said because he's taken on so many roles. He's stepped up on defense. He's finishing inside even better than he did. But what can you say about his development? I know your experience with him. You played against him. How much did that have with you getting him here? And what do you think of him right now?
Man, he's playing his best basketball of the year, and I think he's played really, really good basketball all year long. Um, with all these injuries, everybody's had to step up. We have this next man up saying and mentality that even if the guy at your position or a specific position doesn't go down, like with Terrence, he had to kind of get thrust into the full-time point guard mode. But when players go out, everybody's roles shift. So everybody's got to kind of morph and bob and weave a little bit. Everybody's done that. Terrence is just puts a smile on my face, man, when you bring up his name because uh, he's having such a great year. He's an extraordinary young man. He is such a team player. He is such a dog and such a competitor and has such toughness and grit about him, man. And we all know his calling card is his ability to put that ball in the basket. He's doing that as well as anybody right now. But the big story, I think, for so long is just how he's up the level of his defense. And I really think it set the tone for the rest of our team to raise the level of their defense. And that's really been the story to me of the last 2 months, whatever it's been, 6, 7 weeks. Uh, the winning streak, and obviously we had a tough loss to Georgia Tech, but just the way we've played, and we're playing our best basketball of the year. And a big reason is the improvement of our defense, and I think it starts with Terrence.
Brooks Holton, go ahead, sir.
Hey Pat, with James, did he get teeth put back in, or is he now going to look like a hockey player with a smile for the next
I don't
couple of
know.
weeks?
I don't know that yesterday because I saw him yesterday when he was Lisa makes some goodies on Super Bowl Sunday. That's kind of her deal. So I text Eli in the morning. I'm like, so what's the deal? Like, we can't have this kid losing weight. How do we get calories into him? Do we got to mix stuff up? And he's like, nah, James said he could eat. So he came in and got a couple goodies, and didn't have much smiling going on yesterday. I will say that he's not ever the most talkative kid in the world anyway. He wasn't smiling yesterday, and he didn't look like in the mood for me to ask him to smile. So I don't know what's in there right now, to be honest with you.
CL Brown.
Hey, Pat, this is kind of following up from Saturday when you went into the student section after the game, showing your gratitude for their support. Where do you kind of see the line between trying to give a fan base, and I know you did the same things in Rock Hill and in Charleston, trying to give a fan base a piece of you and allow them to kind of to feel like they know you, and still trying to I don't know, protect privacy is the right way to put it, but to still kind of maintain your personal time, your personal space. Where how do you kind of balance that?
I don't know. I just think it'll work itself out. We'll figure it out. It's not something that I'm going to do every game. That's for sure. Obviously, it's different at Louisville maybe than it was at Winthrop in Charleston. I've kind of figured out through just through experience of what I can do and I can't do versus what I used to do. What's awesome about Louisville is just how crazy and passionate in a positive way that this fan base is for our basketball program. But certain things that I took for granted maybe a little bit when I could go somewhere in public and just think, and it just not that way as much. So I don't know. It worked out the other day. Okay. I just got some high fives and just said thank you to some people. But again, I'm not going to do it every single time. If it gets to the point where it's like, man, maybe it's not the safest thing to do, then I'll probably pull back a little bit. But it was fine. I did it because they deserved it, one, and two, because my mom said I needed to do it because I used to do it. She liked it. So it happened.
Is there anything, any specific thing in particular you feel like you can't do here that you could do in your other stops?
I don't want to say that I can't do, but I could be incognito. I could just kind of fly under the radar a little bit and do whatever it is that that you can't really do as much at Louisville. I mean, this is the greatest college basketball program in the country, in my opinion, with the greatest fan base. It still blows my mind a little bit that people actually think it's pretty cool to see me in public because I don't know. I don't think I'm that interesting, but it's just how much Louisville basketball means to this city and things like that. So I don't want to say it's something you can't do, but you can't really fly under the radar here.
Thank you.
Russ, go ahead, sir. You got to take yourself off mute, though.
Russ, you might be on mute, man.
Sorry about that. What was your reaction to Clemson's upset of Duke, which obviously impacts your team because it gets you closer to Duke? Surprised? I know you've talked about how tough the ACC or how tough you think it is, but what was your response to that?
I didn't really have much of a response because it doesn't affect the here and now. It may affect all that stuff down the road, but if we start looking at that stuff down the road, we'll trip over, the Miami Hurricanes and then, the NC State Wolfpack. So whether they win or lose doesn't affect us right now. What affects us is what's right in front of us. My son's all into that stuff and how it affects this and seeds and all that crap. And I just smile and laugh. And so he was up there watching it and was giving me kind of blow by blow reports. And it kind of went in ear, went out the other.
So what's his reaction? Your son's reaction?
He's an 11-year-old kid. So, it's the same reaction he has when he wanted the Chiefs to lose last night because he's a Bengals fan and he's sick of them getting bullcrap calls against us late in the game to beat us. So he jumped on the Eagles bandwagon. He's cheering and losing his mind last night because it was kind of, the game at hand. When you're 11 and you're wild into sports, whatever game's on, you're going to choose a side and root your butt off for him. So
you're
I'm guessing
saying
he was rooting for Clemson. So he seemed like he was pretty excited.
yeah, okay, thanks.
Pat, thank you. Appreciate the time.